Okay, well, welcome back. This is Ayshah Price, and I am with Loudoun County Public Schools. And today we're in our business boot camp session number 2, and we are just talking about um, vision and mission statements. And we talked a little bit about the importance of a company mission statement and really defines the culture and values and ethics, fundamental goals and agenda of the company. It defines how these agendas apply to the company's stakeholders, employers, distributors, suppliers, shareholders, and the community. We talked about that. Okay. Um, and so the first thing you want to do is we're going to talk about drafting a mission statement. So you would need to either you can go to a PowerPoint um, document, slides, or you can go to Microsoft Word. But this is going to be part of your homework. So I would like you to start part of it. We'll start doing it together. And that way, when you have questions about it, if anyone already has written out their mission statement, that would be good. You could always share it with us. Um, and so, because my mission is to deliver innovative educational content that inspires, empowers, and equips people to be successful in their careers, in their business, and to create generational wealth, right? So the vision for us is to educate entrepreneurs and professionals to help them be experts in the profession and reach their career goals. And then you could outline a business goal and objective. And we're going to talk about some of those as well. Yes. I had a question. Do I have a question? Oh, okay. So some of you edited your business goals and your mission statements and things of last semester. Well, that's good from last class. Good. I'm glad that this conversation about missions and goals helps. Because I think some people get that confused, the vision and mission and goals, they kind of lump them all together. So first outline what your company does. Okay. It may be good for you to look at, what the service or product is you provide your customers. Okay. And then describe the way in which your company does what it does. Instead of being technical, just use some layman's term words, right? Think of what values go into the core of your business. Maybe you value quality, customer service, or being sustainable, like the Tesla talked about sustainable energy sources. I know I said creativity, innovation, things of that nature. You can put those words. So remember, you need a verb. You need an adjective, like a word that has action. So a verb. Finally, include why do you want to what do you want to do in the mission statement? So why are you doing this business? Who are you helping? Right? So you want to highlight what sets you apart from others in your industry and make it short. Right? After you looked at it, it takes a while to develop your own mission statement. Okay? So you can go back and review it. You can get some ideas from others. But you really want to think about who are you? Like, what's your identity? What's your brand? And it takes time to write that statement, so don't rush it. Okay. And it only holds value if it's shared with existing potential customers and vendors and donors or employees. So sometimes you will find that the mission statement may not be really wordy, it may just be really precise, but you don't want it to be a networking pitch, you don't want it to be an elevator pitch. It just really needs to have those concepts that we talked about, those 3 concepts of what it is, who are you doing it for, and how and why. Okay. The mission statement helped clarify the company's purpose. All right. We talked about how investors they can be inspired by just listening to your mission statement, and understanding your values, your culture, and how you want to keep that value and culture within your mission. okay, to provide those quality products to your community, to your clients. Okay. So that's a little bit about a mission statement. So here's some examples about mission statements. So we saw some earlier. Nike to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. It says, and see, it's an action word, inspiration, innovation. And they're saying to who? To athletes. And they're saying where in the world. Very clear. Very clear. Walmart, we save people money so they can live better. What are they doing? They're saving people. Who? People, money. What are they doing for them? They're adding a benefit, saving them money. So why? They can live better and do other things with that money. Starbucks, we give every cup, with every cup, with every conversation, with every community, we nurture the limitless possibilities of human connection. I mean, that's beautiful. And you think about it, they put cup. So we know they serve a drink. And they believe they're using this cup to make connections, conversations with the community, with every, not just one community, with every community, the limitless possibilities of human connection. So they have a more emotional mission statement. It's tied to get to the emotions of the reader. And it makes you think, wow, if I have a cup of coffee at Starbucks, I can just connect with someone and meet them. Okay. So let's talk about a value statement. A value statement is centered around a company's core principles and philosophy. It's more direct. All right. It often includes actionable directions such as taking ownership, acting ethically, doing what is right, being transparent. Okay. So you start to describe how you're going to achieve a little bit of that purpose. Okay. And here we talk about a company's goals or business plan may be disclosed or kept private, but it's going to talk more specifically about your business line, your percentages, where you impacting, which region you're impacting, any initiatives. All right. So it's going to list the company goals, make it more measurable for you to achieve them. Okay. All right. So a brand is it's elements that encompass a company's identity. This includes their marketing materials, engagement in community events, reviews from current and former employees, their logo, their presence. It's also shaped by their mission statement. Okay. So it really aims to help their customers, employees, investors form an opinion of a company. And that's what you want. You want to be known. What do you want to be known for in your community? So everything that you have, your brand should look like that. Okay. Every message you put out there should nothing should conflict with your brand because people are loyal to a brand, right? You're loyal to things that you know of time and time again you could trust. Like people, McDonald's is a huge example. McDonald's, everyone's loyal to McDonald's because they have extended hours, they have warm, fresh food when you need it, they have different options people can choose from. So they also have different styles of food in different parts of the one out of the states, and I wanted some Haagen-Dazs. It was very expensive to get out of the states. However, they had, certain flavors that I liked or certain flavors that were different. So, you want to think about, who are you supposed to be impacting in the world? Who's your goal? Who's your target? And that's how you set yourself apart from the other businesses. Is making sure you know that first. Okay. And then, of course, we talk about the importance of having that brand loyalty. Okay. And then I want to also talk to you about business objectives. Was anybody shocked when they saw the video about supply and demand, about how supply and demand ties into business? I don't think people think of it but it does. Okay. Here are business objectives. So a business objective, the written steps that guides the company to grow it in a measurable way. That way you can reach those different objectives and goals and different timelines set. A good business objective is concise, it's actionable, it defines those metrics, and you can track the progress. You would measure your success and you would go back and fix when other areas are not as successful or not achieving those goals. So what do you want the company to achieve? How can you measure the success? Which players are involved in creating that success and driving that force of success to be achieved? What are the timelines needed to plan, initiate, implement the steps, these programs? How can you improve or better support your personnel, your logistics, your management team, your operations team, right? So if you have business objectives and you want to sell a certain amount of items, you want to create them, and of course, you don't want to hold on to you can only hold on to your cost of goods sold for a while. You don't want to hold on to your inventory too long because you have all that inventory that you're going to the work in process inventory that you need to finalize. So you want to sell the inventory that's already been completed, and you want to obtain that revenue from it, right? So what are some steps you may need to take, or what other product line you need to introduce to help either cut the cost or make it um, more profitable for you and your business. Okay. And understand what processes are working well and which ones are taking longer to execute. Say you have a product line, or say that you have some expenses in the product line, your wholesaler is costing you too much money, and you change up to a different manufacturer. Where are some areas you have to cut costs? And how, if successful, these actions can be integrated sustainably going forward. So you always want to include, the growth, the measurables of what you need for each quarter, for each action, each goal. Okay. Outline what they are, have that action plan, have that measuring stick of success, and then what's the timeline to reach your success. So you always want to know those things. Okay. A business goal, a specific high level growth, an objective helps that you want the company to reach. Business objectives are usually often interchangeably with your business goals, but an objective is in the service of the goal. So the objectives are those little action plans and milestones you need to make to reach the goal. And if anybody's done any work in PMP or project life cycles, you can understand what I'm saying in regards to you have a product life cycle, you have a life cycle for your different project you're working on, and you have different goals and objectives you have to reach. So here's an example. Business objective: I will increase my sales output by learning and implementing point of sale conversion frameworks. I'll measure success by comparing week over week sales growth to median sales across players on my baseball team. I will sell more candy bars than anyone on my team and earn the grand prize at team party at Pizza Hut. So that's the final goal. So he's wrote out the goal is to get the candy bars and to win this Pizza Hut team party. That's the ultimate goal. But what little objectives needed to take place? What type of training, what type of measurement needs to take place? What type of processes need to be implemented in order for you to reach that goal? Because in order to win, you're going to have to practice, you're going to have to work hard, you have to put time into that. So it's similar to a business. Okay. So benefits of setting business objectives is help establish clear roadmaps. You can translate your objectives into time-sensitive sequence to chart your path toward growth. You can set groundwork for culture. Clear objectives should reflect the culture you envision, and they should help guide your team to follow that as well. Okay. Um, it's always about your team culture and team dynamics. That's why team building is very important, and leadership development is important. So that way you can be a leader and not just a manager of your team. And there's a good article online that I will post that I use for one of my other classes, but I think it's good for this class as well. You can influence talent acquisition. You can acquire, that means you can acquire new employees to come into your company to help you. Once you know your objectives, you can use them to find the people with specific skills and experience needed to actualize that the output. And also, you'd be able to have the income to pay an extra individual so that they can help with production or help with inventory, right? Um, and help with that timeline of completing your product. People, you work together, you encourage teamwork, right? We just talked about teamwork, working together. Sound leadership, we just talked about that. The objectives give leaders opportunities to get the resources they need, because when you're leading, you're more so guiding, helping, assisting, and bringing awareness to individuals about what their roles are in the organization, and overseeing different aspects of the company. And establish accountability by measuring progress. You can see where there's different errors or inefficiencies, and you can fix them by being able to have something measurable to measure it against. And you can drive productivity and know that the end game is of the objective is to make individual team members and make the process more effective. Okay. So we talked about establishing your clear goals. You set a baseline. You involve the players of all levels in the conversation. Number 4, define measurable outcomes. Outline that roadmap with the schedule. And number 6, integrate successful changes. So these are the steps that we talk about when you're executing business objectives. Okay. So establish clear goals. And we talked about that SMART goals, SMART. And I can go to that presentation as well. So you have these SMART goals that you want to incorporate as well. So making sure that you set that baseline, you involve everyone that's associated with the process or the product, the delivery of that product or that service. Everything that happens to that you need to do, everyone you need to communicate with, every department, every task that needs to happen in order for you to achieve that goal needs to be outlined. Okay. And you can do mind maps, you can do different charts online for to help you outline those type of goals. You can use the templates that we talked about. There's a lot of business templates I'm going to show you today that you can use as well. Okay. So we talked about SMART goals, making sure they're specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Okay. So it falls the same in line that you talk about these SMART goals with your personal life. SMART goals are important for your business as well. So you need to know exactly what should be accomplished. Okay. And why do you need the goal? It needs to have some measurable qualities to it, some milestones that need to be reached within a certain amount of time. Okay. In order for that goal to be achieved. Attainable. What are some of the resources you need to acquire to obtain that goal? Relevant. Is it a worthy goal? Will it be meaningful to the company, to the team, to the overall process of the business? What is the impact? Is it going to help another consumer? Is it going to bring your product costs down or your marketing costs or deliverable costs down? Is it going to change the process or make it smoother, make it quicker, more efficient? So different things that you have to look at. And then relevant, talk about that. You can really commit to it as well. And then time bound. What's the deadline for reaching the goal? And when will you know? And when can you start taking action on getting to the completion of the success of the goal? So those are important things to think about. Okay. When you're goal planning. Because we know, what is a goal for your business? So I would like you to also write down one of the business goals you have for your business. Okay. Something you would like to achieve, I would say within the next year of your business. Okay. Usually when we talk about business goals, we do them 1 to 5, and then we do 10 to 15 to 20. So you want to break them out. You do quarterly goals. You can do monthly goals. You see that some industries do weekly goals to obtain weekly sales or weekly product development. Okay, weekly shipping. So it depends on what the deliverable is that you're trying to achieve. Okay. All right. So that is one of the tasks for you to do is to write down the goal. And I'd like the goal to be smart. So you will be submitting that as well. Your business goal. We like it to be smart. Okay. That's something I would love for you to submit for homework. There's a great video about the benefits of SMART goals. We did talk about vision boards last class, and I'm still going to incorporate that again. And if anybody has done it or not done it, it's important to make a vision board. I was just on a business meeting last weekend, and I do some of my groups we do meet on Saturday, or we'll meet like Friday night, because everyone's is busy, but we want to stay together and communicate. And so we were showing each other's vision boards, and you can imagine, the time people take to put into the vision board, but also when you're vision boarding and people believe you're manifesting it, you're speaking it, you're imagining it, you're visualizing it, that it's true. I know for me, when I have to do presentations, I like to visualize everything and just take a moment to take it all in and visualize what I'm going to say, how am I going to say it, how am I going to talk, what I'm going to talk about. I go over everything in advance. So there's nothing wrong with having that plan. Okay. It's really important to have it visually and to have it written out in a formal form. Okay. But it can be inspirational if you choose to do it. Okay. And I have examples online on how to create a vision board. Some people can do a vision board just with cardboard and they take pictures out of magazines. Some people do them online, and you can create different pictures and words and affirmations, and helping you to achieve a goal or reach something that's attainable that you didn't feel like you could do. And it's on your vision board. And so one of my business associates was showing us the vision board and was showing us some of the things that had come true from the vision board. So I like seeing that. Okay. Um, so this is what you're going to do for homework. Okay. So I'm going to give you the homework assignment and that you can have it and you can ask me any questions about it. I'm going to post it on Schoology. I'm also going to email it to you. If you have not been able to get in Schoology, that's fine. I understand. Just send me an email letting me know. I'll forward it over to the main office. And sometimes we have to reset the passcodes, or sometimes you signed in too much. But normally it should just be the first, your email and then the passcode that I sent you. And I'm not going to say it on the recording, but let me know if you need extra help with that. But your homework will be using a Microsoft PowerPoint slide. Create slides to explain the following. What type of business do you want to start? Why and where? What is your unique service or product? Why do we need it in the market? Who is your ideal client? Are they children? Are they families? Are they parents? Are they singles? Are they married? What are their ages? What areas they live in? What type of food do they like? What type of things they like to buy? So you're just going to identify a few characteristics of your ideal client. And we're going to talk more about target market segmentation, but I know we talked about it in the last class. And so I didn't want to go over it too much because you guys probably tired of hearing me talk about target market segmentation, but you know how important it is for your business. Next, you're going to create some business goals for the first year of your business. I would just say do the first year. If you want to do quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and do that finalized year. It's just a business goal. Okay. It doesn't have to be the things I'm asking. They're not really hard. They just seem a little foreign because we're foreign to you because you're going into the business owner side of it. And now you're thinking differently, right? So you're thinking about all these major corporations that you see now in society that are doing well. They started out at some point doing the same process. Okay. So we want to make sure we utilize all resources we can and make our business plan process complete the process so that way it works in our favor when we need to talk to individuals about our business or we need to get funding or investors or we need to apply for some different classifications from the SBA, Small Business Administration. So it's good for us to just do this preliminary work, use the SMART method to define your business goal. So it's just one business goal. You can do one or two if you like, but one major business goal and then define it, make it specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. You can just do a chart if you want for that and within your PowerPoint. Create 1 to 5 year goal objectives to meet the goal milestones. I would just go ahead and create that 1 year if you want to. If you already have your 5 year, that's fine. I just want to see where we are in the process. Create that mission statement we're talking about, the who, what, why, where, and how mission statement. Create a vision statement, and all the documents that I've been going over with you and all the videos, they're all there on the Schoolology. So all you need to do is just log back into them and read them if you want, and just try to do at least some of the homework, so that way you can get this practice in. I do think it's important to do that market research for your industry. Find out who else is in the industry with the same kind of business you have. Find out what products they provide, what's different about them, and think about what you can do differently. And that's that researching that competitor in your business to find out, what are they doing in their business and how did they start and how did they create themselves. So I would love those documents. It could just be one big PowerPoint, or Microsoft Word, however you want to do it. I just would like that to be emailed to me and I could review them and I can find out a little bit more how everyone is in regards to where they are in their business process. And, some of these things are going to be new that I'm asking you to do, but it's going to be worth it. And so each week, we'll just keep reiterating some of the main things like the mission statement, the vision statement, doing that research, making sure you're writing out your goals. We'll continue to talk about those in class. And that will be a part of your final project anyway. So it's good to go ahead and just, move forward, write them out. And if you need help, we're all here to help one another make it better, draft it and help you. Maybe you need to just add a few words to it, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. You don't have to do it alone. We're all here in this process together. So that is the homework for today. That's all I have for you today. I don't want to keep anybody till 9. It's beautiful outside. So let's try to see if we can get a head start maybe on doing some of the homework. It should be due before class. Please try not to send everything to me like the day of class because I will have to still read it, along with your work and other students' work. So if you can, take some time, and I would take some time every day and do and work on your business. So if you could just put some of these as some priorities that you could do this week or within the next week or so. And we'll have a guest speaker next week and the week after, and you can ask them questions as well. But I want to thank you for joining class. And this recording, I'm going to stop it and show you. Oh, I want to show you Schoolology as well for those of you that are not on it. Okay, so this is your Schoolology site for Small Business Bootcamp 2. It's your template, of course. Everything is organized by week. So I'd like for you to go in here, introduce yourself for week 1, read some of the articles that are in here. There's a template here. Everything that you see for week 1, it would have the videos that we talked about, the emotional intelligence, the active listening, setting smart goals, vision, mission, and goal statement. We'll talk about segmenting and positioning target market next week. And then there's a personality test. I think it's good to do things that are fun like that. A personality test is for free. And then there's a business formation and structure document. We talked about business formation and structure, but IRS has a good document so you can read it and just get the definitions of um, understanding. We've already talked about them last class about either being a sole proprietor, LLC, LLP, a C corp or S corp, business or nonprofit. So that's just a document that's a little bit more explained for you. 7 smart examples for goal examples for small businesses. I think this is a good video for you to watch. It's really cute, and it talks about just some steps for you to help you. And then the videos we talked about the importance of the business plan. Supply and demand is here. The market research video is also there. And then your homework will be underneath here. There's a nice strength finder quiz if you want to if you like those type of quizzes, just to find out what your strong points are. The importance of a mission statement, that video is here. The soft skills versus hard skills, that video is here. And then the articles about business goals and objectives is here, as well as the mission statement examples that are there. There's about 21 good mission statement examples, and it explains it in detail as well. Okay. So that's all I had for you today. And I look forward to talking to you guys next week. If you have any questions in the meantime, please email me any questions that you have or topics that you want to discuss in class. And I got the feedback from you before, from those of you that responded so far. And each week, we're just going to keep doing this homework and getting to that point where we're comfortable about talking about our business and we can start outlining how we want the business to flow. Okay. So I will see you all next week, and I'll post your homework on Schoolology, and I'll send an email as well for those who don't have it. Okay. If you need anything else, please let me know. I'll stay on a few minutes. Have a good night.
Have a good night, Mrs. Price. Thank you.
Have a good night. You're welcome. You too.